The psychology of narcissism. The term narcissism comes from Greek mythology. The legend of Narcissus tells the story of a young man who fell in love with his reflection in a pool of water. He was so enchanted by this image of himself that he wasted away and died. The term narcissism is now used to describe a personality disorder that's characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance, a need for admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. People with this disorder often seek out attention and praise, and they may have a sense of entitlement. While narcissism is often seen as a negative trait, there is some evidence to suggest that narcissism can have some positive effects on motivation and leadership. However, narcissism can also lead to negative outcomes such as relationship problems, career derailment, and financial ruin. If you want to learn more about narcissism, then this is the video for you. In this video, we'll talk about the psychology of narcissism and the factors that contribute to it, the symptoms and the effects of narcissism, the social impact of narcissism, and how to deal with narcissism. So watch till the end. Number 1. What is the psychology of narcissism? People with narcissism often believe they're superior to others and have a strong sense of entitlement. They may be preoccupied with power, success, and appearance. While narcissism is often considered a negative trait, there's some debate over whether it can also have positive aspects. For example, people with narcissism may be way more likely to take risks and be more successful. They may also be more likely to be leaders. There's no one cause of narcissism, but it's thought to be a combination of genetic and environmental factors. Treatment for narcissism typically focuses on helping the person manage their inflated sense of self-importance and teaching them more effective ways of interacting with others. In some cases, medication may be used to help treat underlying mental health conditions. If you think you or someone you know may be suffering from NPD, it is important to seek professional help. This disorder can be quite difficult to deal with and can often lead to other mental health problems. With proper treatment, however, people with narcissism can learn to cope with their disorder and live healthier, happier lives. Number 2. The factors that contribute to narcissism. People with narcissistic personality disorder often have difficulty maintaining healthy relationships and may use others for their gain. Many factors can contribute to the development of narcissistic personality disorder, including family history, early childhood experiences, and certain personality traits. While there's no one cause of narcissism, understanding the possible contributing factors can also help to shed light on this complex disorder. Some of the most common explanations for narcissism include a need for attention and validation, a sense of entitlement, a lack of empathy, a history of childhood trauma or abuse, a parent or caregiver who models narcissistic behaviors. While the exact causes of narcissism are still unknown, some risk factors may make someone more susceptible to developing this disorder. These risk factors include low self-esteem, a fragile sense of self, and a lack of close and supportive relationships. Number 3. Narcissistic personality disorder. A narcissistic personality disorder is a mental disorder that is characterized by an inflated sense of self-importance, a need for admiration, and a lack of empathy for others. People with this disorder often seek out attention and validation from others, and they can easily become defensive and angry when they feel threatened or criticized. People with this disorder also believe they're better than others and have a strong sense of entitlement. They may be preoccupied with power, success, and appearance. While narcissistic personality disorder can be a difficult disorder to live with, treatment is available and can be effective. Narcissistic personality disorder can cause problems in many areas of a person's life, such as work, school, and personal relationships. If you think you may have this disorder, it's important to seek professional help. With treatment, many people with narcissistic personality disorder can live happy and successful lives. Number 4. The effects of narcissism on relationships. Narcissists are often very charming and charismatic, but their behavior can be toxic to relationships. Narcissistic behavior can be a major obstacle to developing and maintaining healthy relationships. Narcissists are often self-centered and demanding, and they may take pleasure in putting their partners down. They may also belittle their partner's accomplishments and try to control them. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you may be finding yourself feeling unimportant, unworthy, and alone. You may also feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells, trying to avoid triggering narcissistic behavior. It's also important to remember that you're not responsible for their behavior and that you're not to blame for their actions. Number 5. The symptoms of narcissism. Narcissists are often described as arrogant, self-centered, and self-absorbed. They may have a sense of entitlement and demand special treatment. They may also take advantage of others and lack empathy. Narcissism is a spectrum disorder, which means that there are different degrees of narcissism. some people may have some narcissistic traits, but they may not meet the criteria for a diagnosis. Other people may have more severe symptoms that cause significant impairment to their daily lives. There are several different symptoms of narcissism. Some of the most common symptoms include an excessive sense of self-importance, a lack of empathy for others, a sense of entitlement, a preoccupation with success, power, or attractiveness, a need for constant attention and approval, a tendency to take advantage of others, and a lack of ability to handle criticism or rejection. If you think you or someone you know might be suffering from this disorder, it's important to get professional help. Number 6. How did narcissism develop? Narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, is a mental condition that can damage lives and cause problems in all areas of a person's life. NPD typically develops in adolescence or young adulthood and is often fueled by the need for approval and attention. Narcissists often seek out careers or relationships that will give them a sense of power or importance. They may also engage in risky or reckless behavior in an attempt to feel alive or prove their worth. If you think you or someone you know may be suffering from narcissism, it's important to seek professional help. Narcissism can be a difficult disorder to overcome, but with treatment, it's possible to live a fulfilling and meaningful life. If you're struggling with narcissism, know that you're not alone and there's help available. Number 7. The effect of narcissism on relationships. Narcissists are often very charming and charismatic, which can make them seem very successful in relationships. However, their self-centeredness and lack of empathy can also lead to some serious problems in those relationships. Narcissists often have difficulty truly connecting with their partners. They may be unable to see things from their partner's perspective, and they may only be interested in what they can get from the relationship. This can lead to a lot of conflicts, as their partner may feel neglected or unimportant. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, it's important to try to understand their perspective and to communicate openly. It can be a challenge to maintain a healthy relationship with a narcissist, but it is possible if you're willing to work at it. Try to see things from their point of view and be understanding, even if it's difficult. It is also important to communicate openly with them so that they understand your perspective as well. If you can find a way to meet each other halfway, it can help to maintain a happy and healthy relationship. Number 8. The impact of narcissism on society. People with narcissism often seek out positions of power and status, and they can be very manipulative and exploitative. While narcissism is often seen as a negative trait, it can also have some positive effects on society. For example, people with narcissism are often very ambitious and driven, which can lead them to achieving great things. Narcissists can also tend to be very charming and charismatic, which can help them to gain popularity and influence. However, the negative effects of narcissism cannot be ignored. People with narcissism often have a sense of entitlement and a need for admiration that can lead them to take advantage of others. They can also be very insensitive and callous, especially when it comes to people they believe are beneath them. However, it would be unfair to paint all narcissists with the same brush. Some people with narcissistic tendencies can be very successful and well-liked, provided they learn to temper their more off-putting qualities. Number 9. Narcissism in the workplace. Narcissism in certain situations such as a workplace can be a positive trait. Narcissistic individuals tend to be go-getters and are often very driven to succeed. They're also usually very confident and not afraid to take risks. While there are some advantages to having narcissistic personality traits in the workplace, there are also some downsides. Narcissistic individuals can often be difficult to work with, and they can be very competitive with others. They may also have a difficult time taking criticism. Overall, narcissism can be both a positive and negative trait in the workplace. It's important to be aware of the potential downsides of narcissism, but also to recognize the potential advantages that it can bring. Number 10. How to deal with narcissism. If you find yourself having to deal with a narcissist, there are a few things that you can do to make the situation more bearable. The first thing you need to do is set boundaries. You need to be clear about what you will and will not tolerate from the narcissist. Once you have set these boundaries, stick to them. This will help the narcissist understand that you are not someone who's going to put up with their abusive behavior. It's also important to keep your self-esteem in mind. Remember, you are just as worthy of happiness and success as anyone else. Never let anyone make you feel guilty or inferior for striving to better yourself. You are entitled to your happiness, and you should never apologize for trying to achieve it. There are many reasons why people develop a narcissistic personality disorder. Some of the contributing factors could include unresolved childhood issues, a need for attention and admiration, and a feeling of entitlement. Narcissistic personality disorder can be difficult to treat, but with the help of a qualified mental health professional, recovery is possible. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any future videos, and share your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.